in the way, I would recommend figuring out who they are and really put all of your attention on voting them out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We've got to get rid of people that are standing in the way of democracy and how a vote is supposed to work. And so really focus your energy there. I also really appreciate Mississippi because it's the first place really in many, many years that I ever used the word God. I've been fighting, I've been on a medical talk show for 6 years and really into the science, and I got into this issue on the science, but I always had a spiritual life that I knew was guiding me and leading me. Vax was a miracle in my life, and many miracles have happened since then. But Mississippi was the first place that I really started realizing how important it is to be honest about what drives us, what moves us, and what brings us here. And when we're chanting, a lot of times it's fun to say we'll vote you out, and all of that's great. But I really think the most powerful chants are the ones that don't just say you're not my God, but state the power of God and the presence of God.
Hallelujah.
If you watch those politicians scurrying into side doors, I assure you that it's very, very intimidating to see a giant body of people calling on their God and saying, "In God we trust, not you." It's the most powerful statement you can make. And it really brings us back to, the Bible and our story. That first time, I think it was 2.5 years ago, that I mentioned the Word of God. I woke up in the morning, and we're going to be speaking to the health committee, and I was praying like I always do, and it just hit me, Del, you're the son of a minister, and they need a religious exemption here. Let's really talk about what this is all about. And I reflect a lot. I talk about the Old Testament, I talk about the Garden of Eden, but we even in some of our chances, let my people go. I really reflect on the story of Moses a lot. In fact, as the son of a minister, the most complex and confusing story to me was always Moses. Because Moses would go before Pharaoh and work these amazing miracles, cast his staff down and turn to snakes, and frogs falling from the sky, and water turning to blood, and even the loss of the firstborn child. And every time Pharaoh would say, okay, you win, and Moses would leave. And then there was this part of the Bible that was just always so hard to wrap my head around. It would say, and then God hardened Pharaoh's heart. It didn't say that Pharaoh changed his mind, was an Indian giver, decided on his own. No, it said God was a part of that. And I think now when I look at that story, and I think how many times we've come here. We've come and worked miracles on these Capitol steps, 4 years since I've been here, and before that. You actually have the votes, and you have a Pharaoh who is standing in your way. But for some reason, that too is God. I don't know if it means that it's asking us to continue to have faith, dig deeper, or if it's saying that all of this is God and it's all beautiful. But I know in that story, Moses never gives up. There's a lot of people that will say, oh, this is in God's hands, and that's not how the story goes. It doesn't matter that Pharaoh's heart is being hardened. God also fills Moses with the power to come back again and again and again.
Amen.
Until that dark force is drowned in the sea, never to get in their way again. And that's what we're doing here. You're representing Israel. You're representing freedom. You're representing what it means to be a living child of God. We will not back down. We are not intimidated. In God we trust. And I really mean that. These are going to get to be very, very intense and scary times. Mostly because we are winning. We are winning this argument all across the country. I just heard that one of the reasons some of the people voted against it is that there's not aborted fetal DNA in vaccines, that's a myth. That means the health department is now lying. That is all they have left. They can't bring science, they can't bring truth. They are liars, and they are dark, and they are dying.
Yes.
And because they are dying, they are lashing out. They're on tilt. It's going to get scary. But I have actually said it from the very beginning. When we were in the middle of making Vaxxed, a few things happened that were very scary. One time our entire edit was clearly stolen right before our eyes. It was somebody hacked the computers. And, you know, Andy Wakefield got really upset. We were all a little bit upset. Another time the story got out. We wanted this film to be made so that we could really make this story. And several things just seemed like they were going against us. And I really thought about it. And I said to Andy and Polly and those of us working on the film one day after I had prayed in the morning, and I said, you know, we cannot outspend pharma. There's no way. We will never outsmart all of the ad agencies that pharma has. They're buying more politicians, they have our television sets, and they've been lying to the people for a very long time. So I said, either God is with us, or we have no chance. We are not smart enough, rich enough, talented enough, except that we are vessels for the greatest power of creation that ever was. God will win this through us. So do not be afraid. It is not ours to understand why today Pharaoh's heart was hardened. It's ours to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow may be that day that we bring victory to Mississippi, we bring victory to our children, we bring God back to Mississippi, and therefore begin the path to bring the United States of America and the world back to their Creator. This you are doing, and of this I'm so proud of you. Thank you.